Hey guys, this video is for those that imported Utawarerumono Zan and are lost throughout the massive amount of Japanese text in the game. Starting with the menus, you have 6 options to select, and also pressing square will hide the UI so you can take a cool screenshot. The first menu option is single player. Every story and side quest will be available from this menu. Depending on how far you are in the game, some menus might be missing, so don't worry too much about that. The first option is of course the main story mode. The second option is memory recollection. In this you revisit the battles from the story mode, but it is a little harder and it adds new side goals to do in each mission. Pressing square shows the hard mode version, which is the same as regular memory recollection but a whole lot harder. The third option is free mission. This option is pretty much just even more content to do, with each section divided into chunks based on character level. The green option on the bottom is DLC missions. The fourth and final option is character trials. Each of the missions is tied to a specific character that forces you to master the character and beat their trial. Next up is multiplayer. It is pretty obvious what this one's about. The first option is to create a lobby and the second one is to find a lobby. You can change the room name to whatever you want. The tick mark is asking if you want the password or not. Ticked means you don't want a password. If you want a password, make sure to untick that and enter the password in the password tab. The first is to select a mission. Just to note that the missions for multiplayer are separate from the single player ones and are not required for the platinum. The second option is for the party menu, which I'll get into later. The third option is for editing the room. The first option in this menu is to edit the room's information. The second is to select an individual user in the current lobby. The third option is to stop looking for players to join the game. As you can see in the top right that it is looking for other players, and pressing the button turns that off. Press it again to turn it back on. The fourth option is the ready button. Make sure to press it when you are ready. By moving the touchpad in a direction you have access to stickers. Pressing the touchpad opens up the sticker menu. Hovering over a sticker and swiping in a direction assigns the sticker to that direction. Next is the party menu, which is probably the most complicated of these menus, so I'll be covering only the most important things. In the center we have our selected party of 4 and the element we are running with. The little blue diamond represents the level of our selected element. On the side we can see the current progress on our element and how close we are to the next level. Essentially, the higher level your element level is, the higher the stats will be when you completely fill up the element meter in game. I'll get into this more later. First menu lets you select a party and your element. Pressing circle on the character or element will let you change it. Pressing triangle on the character will open up the character customization. Going back to the elements, you have the options of fire, water, wind, earth, light, moon, and heaven. In the description, I'll list each element's bonuses to the best of my abilities, but to be honest, I'm not 100% sure what all of them can do. Inside character customization, there are 4 tabs. The first tab is character ability and scroll loadout. The second is character move list and special loadout. These 2 tabs are the specials you have access to while playing the character, while the third one is for when you are not playing the character. I will get into more of this during the gameplay portion. The third tab is point distribution, which is self-explanatory. Starting from the top, it goes health, damage, defense, morale, and I'll call it talent. The first 3 are self-explanatory, but the last 2 aren't. So morale is what powers the elements tab, and the higher each character's morale is, the higher the element bar will go up. Talents for increasing the power of a character's passive ability and for unlocking additional scroll slots to use. The fourth and final tab is changing the character's outfits, and if you have DLC, then you can also change costumes here. Next is the gotcha section. This is where you can get certain skins, but most importantly, this is where you can unlock scrolls to power up your party. Each of the options are simply a more advanced level with higher price to roll, but with stronger scrolls. Pressing square on a level shows what scrolls that certain option has. Using it is pretty self-explanatory, but a tip I have is to always go for the highest available level that you can access, since getting all the scrolls and leveling them up isn't required for the platinum. Next is the reward screen. Each of the coins are a goal that will get you a reward if you complete it, and if you fully complete a roller column, then you have access to the small orbs rewards too. Since I have already completed it, I can't really go over what each requirement is, but what I'll say is to keep playing and finishing up all the side content. If you finish everything, then pretty much all of it will be unlocked. Last option is the settings. The first option is general settings. In this first tab, you can change text speed and toggle text skip. The second tab is audio settings. The order is master, background, sound effects, and voice. The last tab is camera settings. The second option in the tutorial, which is just the text that explains how to play the game. The third option is music player, in which you can play any tracks featured in the game by pressing triangle, and if you press circle on a track, it will be added to the in-game track player. Sadly, the in-game track player is maxed to only 1 track. Now getting into the gameplay, the yellow bar is your health, the blue bar is your zeal. The timer up there is time remaining before failing the level. 4 coins are how many lives your party has. Losing all the coins will fail the mission. This is your your currently selected element and the blue diamond next to it is the current level of that element. The more enemies you kill, the higher it goes up until it hits the highest level achieved back at the party menu. Obviously, the higher the level, the better the buffs it gives you. The top left is the current objective. Usually the goal will be to kill a certain number of enemies. Pressing the D-pad will change characters to that specific direction. X is jump, square is light attack, triangle is strong attack, and circle is to use your currently selected special. If you have more than one special, then you can press L2 to cycle between the two. Pressing L1, you bring up a mini menu which lets you press the face button and use the party members specials without having to play them yourself. Clicking L3 will bring up a mini map. R1 locks onto an enemy and you can use the right stick to cycle between the different enemies. 2 is a dash or escape move. If you hit at least one bar of Zeal, you can push the touchpad to go into Overzeal. To execute a final strike, you need to fill up your Zeal to 3 bars, go into Overzeal and push the touchpad again, and if you strike an enemy, then the final strike will start. The yellow goal circles advance the main goal, while the blue goal circles are side quest goals. Usually the blue side quest goals are hidden, so you will have to explore around for them. The goal with this video was to pretty much just cover the basics. That is it for now. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys.